Today is April 14th. Oh, I've got nausea. I didn't post anything on yesterday or today because I was crashing and passing out. Um, it has nothing to do with COVID-19, but I'm heat sensitive. 73 degrees makes me sick. Um, Even at 5 years old, I would put on my little snowsuit and go out to bring down the pain. And I did that regularly um, all my life. If I could get out into the snow and roll around in the snow, I'd feel better. Cold triggers whatever my brain needs to send correct signals to my body. So aside from the allergies and the Parkinsonism, spring and heat and mold and all of the above, I also have an irregular heartbeat, which is genetic, and a slightly low blood pressure, which is triggered by rain and heat. So I wind up being really sick and really weak, and I sleep 20 hours. I'm crashing, can't do any exercise. I have to force myself to cook a meal because my partner is what keeps me alive and takes care of me, and not just because I love him, but because it's a necessity. And I can't depend on him to make a healthy meal. That's what I do. That's my job. So, kind of an update, more bad news. This virus, we waited too long. We should have stopped communist China in 1994 when they put out the first pandemic and scared the planet all to hell with their wet markets. Now, my page on Facebook, COVID-19 News, as a professional research analyst, I was trained in the investment market. And then later, I worked with scientists to research disease from chemicals, my own, and to help others like me, and developed a diet for disease control that keeps me alive, reverses the brain damage, controls the paralysis, but it's not a cure. No doctor, no drug, no medicine, no treatment, other than what I alone have created and other people like me around the planet have been doing through diet and some go in isolation. Well, I chose to go on a gas mask in 1986 because I wanted to save the world. I wanted to save the world from my disease. I wanted to save the children for the next 200 years from my disease. And it is caused by toxic chemicals in canola oil and Monsanto and pesticides and blah, blah. Anyway, all that's on Facebook. But this new virus, I'm calling this last days because I will have no hope of surviving it. My partner does the shopping and he does everything he can to make sure he doesn't bring it home to me. I only went out once in 3 weeks because it was specialty foods that only I knew what to get. I couldn't rely on him to read the labels. He didn't do 36 years of research like I did. So there's only so much that I can expect him to do. But we now have the evidence that this virus acts differently on different people, depending upon their immune system. Blacks in the United States, I can't talk about Canada, although I'm a Canadian, because we are so bad and so corrupt and so stupid that we're not tracking anything. Whereas at least the States, they're racial profiling, they're registering your age, your ethnicity, and Spanish Americans are second to whites. But blacks are number one, aside from elders. Imagine 25-year-old blacks. And I'm sorry, the black community ain't getting the message. God bless TMZ. Harvey's tried to put that message out. He's very he's an anti-racist, let's put it that way. He's very inclusive to all cultures. So we now have the fact that some will show no symptoms, but they're carriers. And here's the worst news today, all right? 91 people in South Korea who already had the virus were cleared of it. They were tested because only South Korea is the only country that has tested everybody and is continuing to do that. And by gum, they had it, they were cleared, and it flared up. And they got it again. So it went dormant and came back. So, and we're not even close to testing everybody in North America. Americans aren't going to do it. Trump's very busy trying to get everybody back to work. He doesn't want to lose the election. Right, let's kill a few million people. Screw them. Let's just get back to work. Money's what talks. But doesn't matter to me. I won't be here. I don't know that I have anything to help you except that people who have a lifestyle that's healthy, and if they go on organic foods, they stand a better chance of surviving. And garlic pills. I'm not going to mention brands because that's not fair to any one brand over another. But garlic pills for 30 years have kept me alive. A simple cold turns into a lung infection, and I would not be alive today if it wasn't for garlic pills. And yes, I've come to the terminal stages with infection so bad, and there was no antibiotic that I could take. I'd run out. I'd been on them too often. And so I just kept taking garlic pills every 3 hours. And I got up to 300 a day. And it took a number of weeks, 300 a day. And buckets of yogurt, because that's pretty hard in the stomach. And a rotating system of detoxing, and then force feeding, and then garlic pills, and liquids, and broth, and chicken soup. Yeah, chicken soup. I don't care what anybody says. It definitely helped me, because I bought both the organic vegetable broth and the organic chicken broth. And I'm here to tell you, the vegetable broth didn't work, but the chicken did. So make of that what you will. And I know that vegans don't want to hear this, but I'm sorry. A certain amount of meat is going to be required, and eggs, because you're going to need the protein. So, and I'm on supplements, and I won't go into that. I've posted all that on my diet. Anyway, it is April 14th. The U.S. now has had more deaths than Italy. And still, Trumpism, the worship of that ignoramus maniac, is alive and well. And we're not doing at all well in Canada, but it isn't possible. We're not a democracy. Our laws are completely designed for the criminal. Health Canada is totally corrupt. The only good news out of Canada is that two Oriental men, brothers, formed a company because they had an issue. I believe it was leukemia, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I posted everything on my page, so you look it up. But they came up with a 1-hour test that's available. I don't know what the cost is. I didn't have time to research that. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to buy one. Because, you know what? I'm like a light bulb. I'm better than the test. If I get the coronavirus, bang, my system will just explode like that, and I'm going to be sick so fast, make your head spin. So that's not even an issue for me. And the same goes for my partner. We're not going to go to the hospital if we get it. Why spread it? You know, it's pointless. I've given him instructions to just keep me as comfortable as he can and stay with me. And I've made all the preparations. I'm prepared to die. I have nothing left to give the world but these little videos, and because I'm good at research, I'm helping people by answering their questions, and if I don't have the answer, I get on the phone or I get on Google, and I take the time to get them an answer wherever I can, and that includes Americans too. And England, and I once had connections in Israel. I don't anymore. I don't know what happened, but there was a doctor in Israel that used to follow me, but he was an older man. I guess he's long since gone. That happened with a lot of the scientists like Dr. Jaffe and different doctors in the United States. They helped me with my early research. And Dr. Boudra in Sudbury, despite the corruption of this country, he recognized my disease for what it was. He understood it, and he helped to keep me alive several times, and helped me with my mother as well. I owe a good 18 years of my life to him, and 11 years of my mother's life to him. But he's gone, and I'm not too impressed with the guy who took over. He needs to go on a diet, and he doesn't look too damn healthy. Dr. Butcher's a lot younger than me, but maybe he retired, I don't know. But he was chief of staff for quite a while, and that's the way it goes. Anyway, this is already 12 minutes. It's too long. I think what I'm trying to tell you is that until you get a vaccine that works on almost everybody, because I'm going to tell you right now, this damn thing mutates. So even with the vaccine, not everybody's going to be safe, but it will save the planet. That's your only hope. So you're going to have to stay isolated as best you can. And if you're forced to go back to work, I hope your unions will get you a bonus for those of you who've had to risk your life to keep our grocery stores open and so on. I think our government owes you, and our taxpayers owe you a bonus. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it should in every country. They deserve that. And it shouldn't just be the people out of work that are getting help. I think the ones that have risked their life deserve a bonus, and that includes everybody. I'm not going to include the police, though, because in Sudbury they haven't done a goddamn thing good in 75 years that I've been on the planet. 78, 79 September. They never did, and they probably never will. It's not that there isn't the occasional decent cop, but we've got a kind of system, an old boy's backyard, redneck, smoking cigar, let's rape that bitch system in this goddamn city that is never going to go away because people just won't fight them. And our laws make it legal, and our lawyers are corrupt, except for Mr. Longstreet. He's an elder gentleman, but the vast majority are totally corrupt. And like Trent Faldine took me for $70,000. I mean, my mother's dying, and I'm handicapped, and this son of a bitch, I put him in business. He was going bankrupt. He didn't know if he was punched or bored, and this is how he treats me. Yeah, there's not a lot of humanity to be found here. But for those people out there, that my Facebook friends and the people who want help, I'm on Facebook, and I have so much research and information. You just go ahead and you check it out. Anything I can do, even ask a question, I'll answer you. So God bless. But you financially, physically, mentally, be prepared. Now, we're set up here for a year. And the next time we go out, we're going to be setting up so that we are really set up for a year and a half, that for our major supplies. That my husband has coloscopy, and then he's got a bag, and he needs to be, because I know this is not going to go away. And If I'm to survive, that's what I have to do. And the truth is, so do you. And if you have to go to work, do take precautions. Do wear a mask. Don't believe your government, even when they tell you it's okay and it's all over. It'll never be over because it's mutating quicker than we can catch up with it. It's just like the flu vaccine. It mutates every year, but we get a vaccine every year. And people who say that doesn't work, well, excuse me, it works. Yes, some people die because they're allergic to it, but it saves hundreds of millions and billions of lives every year. So, face facts. A vaccine won't cure it. It will mutate just like the flu, but it will make a semi-normal existence. And you're going to have to make a lot of changes in your lifestyle. And you're going to have to recognize that you can't go out when you're sick, and your employers are going to have to pay you to stay home and not force you to go out when you're sick. And all of that will depend on you. Because you, one person, can make a difference. I made a lot of difference on this planet, and I leave with no regrets in the sense that I know that I did what I was supposed to do to make this a better place. And each and every individual can do the same. One person, yes, can make a difference. You have to fight, you have to demand, and you don't give up. God bless.